Royal Challengers Bangalore Women vs Gujarat Giants, 16th match highlights. Gujarat Giants have won the toss and have opted to bat. Dunkley and Wolvaart are at the crease. Dunkley is on strike. Devine will open the attack. 0.2. Devine to Dunkley, 4, cracking shot. This was a tad shorter and Dunkley stayed back to account for the swing. 0.5. Devine to Dunkley, 4, 2 full and gets the treatment. This was nicely pitched on off stump. Dunkley gave herself a bit of room and slammed her drive down the ground, to the right of mid-off. 1.2. Schutt to Wolvaart, 4, on a length and closer to off. Punch through covers where there is a misfield. Runs away for 4. 1.6. Schutt to Wolvaart, 4, full and a bit of width. Wolvaart plays it late and drives it behind square on the offside. 2.3. Devine to Dunkley, 4, short on off. Dunkley shuffled in and pulls it powerfully in front of square, over the infield. 2.4. Devine to Dunkley, out bowled. Gone. One too many for Dunkley. She was trying to be too cute and a wry smile breaks out on Sophie Devine's face as she gets the better on the batter. This was a slower length ball, probably readjusted to bowl that seeing Dunkley shuffle into ramp in. The lack of pace does her in and she loses her leg stump. 3.5. Schutt to Wolvaart, 4, in between good length and full with a hint of width. Wolvaart stays on the front foot and cuts it late behind square to pick up a boundary. 4.5. Devine to Wolvaart, 4, full and wide. Wolvaart goes reaching for a bit of a loose drive but well controlled. 5.6. Parry to Wolvaart, 4, very full but wide on off stump. Wolvaart goes chasing on the drive and gets a thickish outside edge that flies to the right of short third and towards the boundary. 7.1. Pretty bows to Mandhana, 4, full on to off. Mandhana backs away and plays the inside-out shot. 8.6. Ashishobana to Wolvaart, 4, full and straying down leg. Wolvaart gets some bat on her sweep that directs it very fine towards the boundary. 9.1. Knight to Mandhana, 4, flighted and spinning in. Mandhana plays the slog sweep that goes over the fielder in the circle and to the left of deep mid-wicket. 9.5. Knight to Wolvaart, 4, off spinner that was going down leg. Wolvaart stays back and tickles it very fine towards the fine leg boundary. 10.3. Parry to Mandhana, 4, short outside off. Mandhana stays deep and cuts it nicely. 11.4. Pretty bows to Mandhana, 4, full and a bit closer to the body, settles perfectly for Mandhana to play the slog sweep over the mid-wicket fielder and for 4. 11.5. Pretty bows to Mandhana, outstumped. Clever from Pretty bows. She bowls a loopy one. Entices Mandhana to step out for a heave and then the ball turns away from the batter. Mandhana misses her shot and is stuck outside the crease, as keeper Ghosh whips off the bails. End of a fine knock by Subhinini Mandhana. 12.5. Ashishobana to Gardner, 6, off the mark with a 6. This was tossed up as well and Ashley Gardner dances out to the pitch and lifts her drive handsomely over Midone. 13.3. Parry to Wolvaart, 4, full on off, driven with great venom down the ground. Almost goes through Ellyse Perry who didn't have the time to react on her follow-through. 13.6. Parry to Wolvaart, 6, what a shot. This was a poor ball, a tame half-volley type delivery onto the swinging arc of Laura Wolvaart. 14.3. Pretty bows to Gardner, 4, flat outside off. However, Gardner shuffles in and pulls it behind square between two deep fielders to pick up a boundary. 15.3. Schutt to Wolvaart, 6, slower delivery. Wolvaart backs away, reads the delivery and heaves it over long off for a huge 6. 15.4. Schutt to Wolvaart, 4, full and chasing the batter. Wolvaart clips it away towards the fine leg boundary. She is toying with the bowlers here. 16.2. Shreyanka Patil to Gardner, 4, flighted delivery. Swung down the leg side and one bounce and 4 to the right of long on. 16.6. Shreyanka Patil to Wolvaart, out caught by Pretty bows. Shreyanka Patil gets the wicket. This was actually a low full toss, was there to be hit but Wolvaart couldn't get enough height on her slog sweep. Ends as an easy catch to mid-wicket. A superb innings comes to an end. 17.1. Ashishobana to Gardner, 4, flighted up. Gardner plays the slog sweep and connects it perfectly between long on and deep mid-wicket. 17.4. Ashishobana to Gardner, 4, tossed up delivery, swept powerfully and to the right of deep mid-wicket. 17.6. Ashishobana to Gardner, 4, fired quicker on off. Gardner steps out and slams it over the bowler's head for a straight boundary. 18.2. Shreyanka Patil to Gardner, 4, flight outside off. Gardner steps out to take as a low full toss and whacks it through extra cover for a boundary. 18.6. Shreyanka Patil to Hemlata, 4, Flighted up, driven straight as an arrow over the bowler's head. 19.2. Schutt to Harleen Dial, 4, lovely shot. All the deep fielders were on the leg side and so was the bowler's length. 19.3. Schutt to Harleen Dial, 6, superb timing. Half volley onto the pads from round the wicket. Harleen Dial stays deep and flicks it behind square over the watching fielders for a 6. 19.5. Schutt to Hemlata, 6, stunning. This was another half volley outside off and Hemlata hoists her drive over covers. Into the stands she sails. 19.6. Schutt to Hemlata, 4, what an over. This was another pitched up delivery onto leg. Hemlata whacks it through cow corner. One bounce for 4. 22 come off that last over. Harleen Dial and Hemlata managed solid cameos in the final over to help Gujarat finish strong on 188. Mandhana and Devine are at the crease. Mandhana is on strike. Kim Garth will open the attack. 0.2. Kim Garth to Devine, leg buys, 4, full and strays down the leg side. The keeper can't gather as it grazes the pads and goes towards the fine leg boundary. 0.5. Kim Garth to Mandhana, 4, short and wide, punch through deep extra cover where some ordinary fielding by Dunkley chasing it from sweeper allows Mandhana her first 4. 1.2. Gardner to Devine, 6, Gardner goes fuller and keeps the pace the same. Devine plays the slog sweep and deposits this into the stands behind square. 1.3. Gardner to Devine, 4, very full on to off. A powerful cover drive that beats the infield and was always going to be 4. 1.4. Gardner to Devine, 4, Gardner tosses it full and a bit wide. Devine shuffles in and plays another crunchy cover drive. 1.5. Gardner to Devine, 6, full again. Devine shuffles in and hoists her slog sweep into the deep mid-wicket stands. 1.6. Gardner to Devine, 4, another boundary. This was full and wide, Devine with just a check drive down the ground. Times it to the right of mid-off and gets 4 more. 24 runs off the over. 3.3. Tanuja Kanwar to Mandhana, 6, there's the shot to get Smriti Mandhana going. She'll breathe a lot more easy now. 3.4. Tanuja Kanwar to Mandhana, no ball, 4, beamer around chest high, pulled through square leg for a boundary. 3.4. Tanuja Kanwar to Mandhana, 4, fired quicker at the stumps. Mandhana steps out and lifts her drive over mid-on for another boundary. 4.3. Shreyanka to Mandhana, 4, what timing. Mandhana reminding us there is still place for grace and timing in this game of brute force. 4.6. Shreyanka to Devine, 4, flat delivery that was a bit wide, Devine got closer and cut it powerful through covers. Goes through the hands of the fielder and that results in 4 runs. 5.2. Kim Garth to Mandhana, 4, length ball onto middle. Mandhana with a gentle shuffle inwards and then pulls behind square. 5.6. Kim Garth to Devine, 4, length ball on the pads. Devine with the effortless flick behind square. 6.2. Gardner to Devine, 4, low full toss outside off. Devine opens the bat face on her drive and gets it between point and covers. 6.6. Gardner to Devine, 6, just no stopping Sophie Devine. This was fired into middle, but too full and Devine clears her front leg and whacks it over long on into the stands. 7.5. Harleen Dial to Devine, 6, what a knock this is turning out to be. Tossed up delivery and Devine dances to the pitch and heaves it straight over the bowler, over the sight screens for 6. 8.3. Tanuja Kanwar to Devine, 6, this is into the second tier. Tossed up in the in-between length. Devine really charged out to the pitch and slams it high and handsome over long on. 8.4. Tanuja Kanwar to Devine, 4, another one. This was the wide Yorker. Devine charges out and drives through extra cover, to the right of the fielder for 4. 8.5. Tanuja Kanwar to Devine, 6, geez. This is scary batting. It was fired into the block hole but Devine cleared her leg and whacked it onto the sight screens. 8.6. Tanuja Kanwar to Devine, 6, 25 off the over. This was slow and short on off. Devine backed away for a big heave towards deep mid-wicket. 9.2. Shreyanka to Mandhana, out caught and bowled. Soft dismissal. This was pushed fuller onto off. Mandhana tried to clip a leg side but gets a leading edge that lobs straight back to Shreyanka. Finally something to celebrate for the Gujarat team. 9.3. Shreyanka to Perry, 4, full in the block hole. This would have been a tough ball to face first up but Ellyse Perry nonchalantly charges out and drills her drive over the bowler's head for a boundary. 10.1. Ashwini Kumari to Devine, 6, nice half volley onto off. Not the ball you need to be bowling to a batter in murderous form. Heaved over deep mid-wicket for a 6. 10.4. Ashwini Kumari to Devine, 4, length ball outside off. Devine shuffles in and from a stationary position cuts it over the extra cover fielder's head for a boundary. 10.6 Ashwini Kumari to Perry, 4, Yorker length, nothing wrong with the ball but Ellyse Perry clips it perfectly between long on and deep mid-wicket. 11.1 Kim Garth to Devine, 4, Jeeps. The power on this lady. This was a Yorker on-off, drilled hard down the ground and both the umpire and Kim Garth were getting out of harm's way. Into the fence in a flash. 11.5 Kim Garth to Devine, out-caught by Ashwini Kumari. Oops. What an unfortunate change in the script. She played the shot and yelped no because she knew she didn't get enough bat on it. This was full on off. Devine drives and wants to lift her drive over mid-off but the fielder at the edge of the circle jumps up and grabs onto the catch. Good composure to hold on there. Sophie Devine walks off to a rousing reception, her teammates bow down to her. What a knock this has been, one of the best there could be where a batter hasn't got a ton. 12.4 Gardner to Knight, 4. Flighted on off, Heather Knight brings out the reverse sweep and gets so much power on it. Between point and short third for a boundary. 12.6 Gardner to Knight, 4. Flat delivery on off, thick edge on that one from Heather Knight and it runs away towards the third man boundary. 13.1 Tanuja Kanwar to Perry, 4. Short and wide from Kanwar, easy peasy for Ellyse Perry who cuts it between covers and backward point. As simple as that. 14.3 Kim Garth to Knight, 4. Full on the pads, this was pace off. Knight calmly flicks it towards deep square leg, to the left of the fielder in the deep. 4 more. 15.1 Snehrana to Knight, 4. Full outside off, takes the edge and runs away towards the third man boundary. Just 2 away now. 15.3 Snehrana to Perry, 1 run, low full toss, driven towards deep mid-wicket and that's the game. RCB chase it down with 4.3 overs to spare. They made it look like a joke. What a game. What a chase this has been from RCB. 188 is a tough target on any given day, any surface. Forget when you have to chase that down to stay alive in the competition, and try and help the net run rate as well. But out walked Sophie Devine and asked what all the fuss is about? We witnessed an innings of a lifetime today, as Devine whacked the bowlers all over the park, and spared nobody. It started with a 24-run second over against Gardner, and then there was another big over off Tanuja Kanwar. RCB got a whooping 77 in the power play, and to add further gloss their skipper Mandhana found some form again. Smriti got her highest score in the tournament, before she had a leading edge go back to bowler Snehrana.